So today we're actually looking at a board game of one of my favorite franchise, that is Gears of War. Been a big fan since the early 2000s when I even saw the first trailer for the first Gears of War with the Mad World song playing in the background. So yeah, so today what we'll do, we'll just review the miniature themselves. I'm not gonna review the board game. I may talk about it quickly, but the principal thing we want to check is actually the miniature that comes with it. Um, just a little disclaimer. Uh, Gears of War that became Gears over time now have changed a bit in the graphic and the design. And the first example I can give you is when you look at Marcus on the top, the main hero, he's pretty slim. But when you look kind of Gears of War 2, 3, and up to the newer one, all the design for the characters got a bit more bulky. They're all muscle and big guys, right? So just be aware that if you go for those minis that come into that box, the characters feels more slim. So it's not going to be a really replica of the newer Gears of War 5 and stuff like that. So on this, we gotta open the board and check what are the minis that comes with it. There we go. Remove the top part. There we go, all the boards. And here we are. So, we got in total only 4 gears in that box. So we got our 4 main heroes, and we got a few of the horde. So I'm just gonna at least take one example of each. Possible. There we go. Do I have this one? Yes, I do. Where is it? Ah, there it is. And there we go. So this is one of each that are in the box for the horde. So we'll start with the gears first, that are the main heroes. Just a second. Just a bit noise for my chair. There we go. So we'll start with Marcus. So this is the miniature for Marcus Phoenix. As you can see, the details are not too bad. It's really tiny, but it's really well done. It feels really Gears of War-like. And like I'm telling you, if you do realize when you look at it, you see he seems pretty slim compared to Gears of War 3 and upward. Beside that, we got all the pouches. Pretty much the old design seems really similar. We got a body armor. We got a knife at the level of the leg. Don't see any defects or holes or anything. I do see that the arms right there may need a bit of putty to fill that up. Kind of see really that division that's popping out. If you're not planning on painting your gears in a darker color like in the first Gears, and more in a more vibrant color like Gears 5, well, yeah, I would say get a bit of putty just to hide that, because it could be a little problematic on your design. Beside that, the chain sword, the Lancer, looks straight, not too bad. There is a little problem at the level of the chain right here. You see it's full. Well, at the same time it's pretty tiny, so it's hard to make those details and keep the chain pretty solid and straight. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. Usually that would be open where the chain turns, but it's fine. We got a mold line actually that goes over his bandana right there. Goes to the side. And after that, you see it follows all the leg downward. So that could be something that you'll need to clean. But beside that, really solid. Beautiful job. I kind of feel the Marcus into that one. Does the face really represent Marcus? Hard to say without painting it. But we got enough details for the nose, the eyes, and the mouth to actually do something pretty decent. So yeah, I'm satisfied. This is actually a really beautiful design. I'm pretty happy with that one. Put it right there. So is our second one. This is Dominic, Mr. Santiago. So Dom's looks pretty much the same when you look at the Lancer. It's filled at the front. It's not that bad. Looks pretty straight. This is another good thing. The body armor is really neat. And we kind of see the distinction between his suit and the one that Marcus is wearing. He has no protection for his top legs. So it's really just more commando type of pants. So that is pretty sweet, knowing the background of Dom. So we got a pouch to the side. I see some kind of mold line to the side, but it's nearly invisible. When I look on this side, it's not visible at all. So that's good. That's really good. Back of the armor, we got a few pouches connected on his back. As you can see, his chest plate that goes to his back is really more tiny than the one on Marcus. So that's pretty cool. We got a division on top of the head. That would need to be maybe filled just a bit or darkened. Just we don't see really that line, that big division that looks like if the head has been like attached to it instead of being natural there. And when you look at the neck, we actually got that little line. It's pretty hard to see, but at the base of the neck you can see that kind of line of glue where it connects together. So that would need to be fixed. Small mold line over the head, that cross. So yeah, I guess we could sand it. Just be careful not to erase any details from the head. You don't want those hair to disappear, right? But beside that, beautiful model. Again, really straight, solid. Does it look like Dom? It does. It does a bit. So I'm pretty happy with this one too. So that's pretty sweet. For a board game of 2011, that's actually really sweet. Now we got Coltrane. Augustus Cole. Let's get a good view on him. So, Cole's a bit bigger than the others, big arm. So we see he plays trash ball. Is like sleeveless. That's not bad. That's actually pretty cool when you paint all of them. They really fell apart on the battlefield, right? So when you're playing on a board game, we got it on display. You really know which one is Cole just by the fact he has no sleeve. He doesn't blend in as easily as the others. We got a mold line, but that mold line is actually deep. And if you saw my other reviews, sometimes when they're deep, I kind of hate that because you kind of have to try to fill that up. And it can be a bit more tricky and then send it back. So yeah, we got a mold line that's deeper, so my nail actually can get stuck in it. We got a blade to the side. Same style as Dom for the paints. No protection over the legs. And beside that, a few pouches here and there. The head looks decent. We got some kind of mold line over the top. Oh, hard to see. It's not a big mold line. Would be easy to clean. The Lancer on this one is a bit curved. Not too much, but you can see that you would need to put it back a bit more straight. It's still pretty flexible. It doesn't feel brittle. It's a really flexible plastic, so that's kind of nice. And what's that? Plastic? No mold line on the arms. Oh, maybe over the top right there. So we actually got a mold line right there. So that would need to be cleaned quickly. But beside that, it's not bad at all. The head is pretty clean. And the face is decent. Good details. It looks like an older Cole. He has the same face as the Cole more in Gears 5 than the Cole in the first Gears of War, but still pretty decent. Yeah, really love this one too. Really nice. The only thing I wish they would have done is putting the cog wheel, but listen, it's pretty tiny. At the same time, like I said, was a one-time board game. They were not really planning on doing something really major. And what I was talking about, the cogwheel, is that logo in the back. So now we'll check at Baird. First thing, gun's a bit curved, not too much, but can still be bothering just a bit. There it is. We kind of have a mold line to the side, barely visible, could be clean. And it goes down, but it fits pretty well within the detail, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. A bit more design on the pants, less straight as the others. We got, again, a mold line that cross over the legs and go up there. That would need to be clean. For the arms, yeah, you could try to fill that up. In a way, you can see it. Other time, when you turn it a bit, you kind of lose that sensation of just a piece being attached. So it's not that bad either. Of course, you got the frosty hair of Baird. Pretty easy to spot. His face seems okay and well designed. And just the fact he got the glasses over his head really distinguish him. So not bad at all. I kind of like his armor is a bit more detailed than the others. Sorry. But the only thing is the front of his armor is going to be hard to reach. Because you see the arms are in the way and the weapons in the way. So you'll have to be more careful with Baird when painting. So those were the heroes that comes in the box. So now we'll move to the Horde. So of course the first one I'm going to start with is the Berserker. So if you remember the Berserker in the first Gears, that was hell of a monster to be scared of. Really, really decent job. I kind of like the vibe because he really remembers me the job they did on Dark Souls. When you think about it, Dark Souls is really a newer type of game. And the details on this one is as good as the one on the Dark Souls board game. So yeah, really happy to see this. The only thing, of course, we got that division just beside the head and more to the neck. You can actually see that line where it glues together. So that would need to be clean. We got a mold line that goes across the leg down to the bottom, and it goes actually under the arm. But everything else on the arm and the end looks pretty clean, so that's not bad at all. Back is fine, a lot of detail, but not too much at the same time. And we got the other mold line that cross right here. As you can see, seems to go under the arm, but beside that, it's not bad. The face is well done, so you can actually easily work on it and go with the details. So yeah, Berserker, big win. We got the ticker. Ticker is a bit more tricky because the fingers of the ticker looks really plasticky. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, but it doesn't feel as realistic as the others, as they kind of lack any details. So I guess with the paint job, you can kind of mimic those as long claws, but at the same time, they got that curve that looks like fingers. So yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you on the design itself. We got that mold line that crossed in the middle of the body and completely to the back, and kind of follow the design here and blend in. Then we got two mold lines on each legs. Let's try this. As you can see on both back leg, we got actually mold lines that would need to be clean. It's tiny, it's not that bad, but at the same time you can see how it's holding up on the base, and it's actually just a pin. So instead of connecting maybe the elbows and the back legs to the base, they really added a part. So when it's on the board, you kind of look at it sideways, right? You rarely really look at it. But if anybody just lower itself to see the side of your job, well, you see that pin at the bottom. So it's not the end of the world, but be aware of that. We got a wrench. The first thing I spotted when I looked at it the first time, it's the face. I don't remember them having that face, even in the first game or any of the games. So it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's kind of cool. Makes it a bit different, right? There we go. Like a underbite or overbite, whatever. So yeah. Beside that, we got a bit of detail. They got a bit of armor over their arms, body armor. We got really good design for the spine in the back and the muscles. So it's cool. It's pretty cool. Actually, they put up a bit more details than I was expecting in the range, but it's actually pretty nice. We got one mold line actually that crossed the head right there and goes over it to this side, and it's kind of stopped. So beside that, I don't really see any other mold line. You kind of know where they're supposed to be, like right here in the design. We kind of have that mold line that's hidden in the details. So yeah, so the wrench are not bad. Actually, I kind of like them. So here we got the drones. What is this? You see the top of the weapon right there. Got one of the biggest mold line I ever saw in a miniature. You see how thick it is and how high it is? So that would need to be clean. I wonder if I find another one, if it's the same. Yep, they're exactly the same. Look at that high ridge over the weapon. Oop, there we go. You can see it. So yeah. Beside that, the weapon looks pretty straight. Details on the drone are really good. Beautiful suit. We got the deep mold line again. If you look at it, you kind of see how deep it is and cross over. I guess you could kind of make it pass as a secondary. Oop, there we go. Kind of make it pass as where the armor connects, but that's going to be hard. And when you get a mold line, so many details, it's really tricky to really scrape it off without damaging anything at all. And we got another mold line under the arm. Beside that, where is it? Oh, there it is. We got a mold line that cross over the head and finish on this side. So in all around, quickly, just like that, I really like the models. They're really beautiful. The only thing, the mold lines are a bit more trickier, but beside that, they're in average really good. So you can easily pick one up and actually just do a bit of cleanup and start painting with it, and it would fit well. I'll just look at the face. Good design. The eyes are deep, the nose is there, the mouth is there. So I kind of like that. So it's really easy to pop out some details. We got a Cantus. It's one of my favorite, actually. So here we go. So the Cantus is like a priest of some sort. Beautiful design, really well done. I love the long coat. His, of course, his. I try to remember the name of the weapon there. Got a blank, but anyways, it's a well-known weapon. Is actually really good. You can't use it in the first gears, but later on when you're playing hard mode and stuff like that, you could use them. So that was actually really neat. Beside that, not bad. Not bad at all. I don't have any mold line anywhere. And his position is really classic for Cantus. So that is really neat. He's really in movement, so I really like that. It's really typical for a Cantus to be like this. When you look at the face, well detailed, really nice. Oop, lost focus there for a second. So it's really beautiful. We kind of see where the mold line should be, but it's somewhat well hidden. kind of tricky, right? Kind of see there in the arms too. So yeah, yeah, not bad. Kind of like it. So kind of biased because I like the Cantus, but so we got the Terran guards, and I think yeah, there's going to be one more after that. So the Terran guards, really good classic one with the torque bow. Torque bow looks pretty fill, as you know. The top part of the torque bow kind of closed down when you're about to shoot. So yeah, they could have cleaned it a bit more, but that's not bad. Just need to clean those little plastic tabs that seems to be sticking. And I don't know, maybe I would have put a little bow popping. Sorry, I would put some arrows popping in the front door. But yeah, beside that, the suit itself, it's really, really neat. For those that knows, it looks like a lot of the armor piece that General Raum is actually using. That would have been really sweet to have actually General Raum in the box, but we don't have it. Armor, really, really well done. Really love this. It looks pretty charged, but at the same time, you got a lot of armor, a lot of like fabric here and there. Not sure if it's leather in the story wise, but I would have to check that out. But that'd be pretty neat. It makes a beautiful contrast. The only thing, as you can see at the level of the waist, there seems to be a really harsh line, like if it's been glued in two part. So yeah, you may want to kind of fill that up just a bit, just to hide that. Beside that, it's pretty slick. We got a small mold line hidden right there. Really hard to see. And you will need to clean the bottom of the boots. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so that would need to be clean. Beside that, it's not bad. My biggest critic of all the box, of all the design, is this. It's the face of the Terran Guard. I really don't like that helmet. For a reason, I have no clue what that is. It looks not properly molded. See how weirdly shaped it is, higher on that side, lower on this side, and see it's like shifted. It's as if the mold wasn't good enough because I see the details of the original helmet of the guards, but it seems so deformed, so I'm not too sure. The face is there, as you can see, we can actually see the smile of that guard at the bottom of it, but the rest of the helmet is kind of crooked. So yeah, I guess you can play it off. You could find a way to make it look like it's normal to have that kind of deformed helmet, but at the same time, everything else is so well proportionate, right? So for the guards, it's really the suit itself that you will want to attract attention on it. They're so well done. Finally, and this one should come in a pair of two. I think there is 3 or 4 of them in the box. I think 3 of them. So the boomers. So the classic old boomers. So I'm really, really happy to see that they really kept the look of the original boomer of the first gears. They look really mean. So once painted, that's going to be awesome. They're going to be so beautiful to be painted. And one of the reasons why I know this is more based on the original, you can actually see, because on the original, they just got some kind of really light body armor over them. And you can see all the skin that goes across in the middle of the part. And they kind of, not sleeveless, but they kind of wear some kind of shirt. So those are really more bulky. You feel that once you paint the skin and you add all the little piece of armor over it, they really feel more massive than what they are compared to the others that are in full armor, right? So when you see a lot of skin on that size, you know that this is going to be a big bad guy to fight. He's really, really bulky. The legs are really large. They really try to keep the proportion of them. So when you compare them, let's say to Marcus, they're big guys, really big. So it's really, really fun to have those. And we kind of have the design of the Horde of the horde. Am I calling them the horde? The locusts. Sorry about that. Don't know why I'm calling them the horde. So you got a design of the locust right in the front, right there. So it's not completely well done. It would need to be clean. As you can see, we got a bit of extra plastic of the mold to be clean, but you got the design of the locust in the front. That's actually really, really interesting for the boomer, because that's one thing that makes this weapon so typical. So yeah, you got all the metal armor, the skins. We got a small division where the head is glued, just right there. You can see it around the base of the neck and the armor. You see that line, that cross that needs to be filled. Beside that, when you look at it, there isn't a lot of problem with it. There is a mold line hidden right there. It's nearly not visible. You can't see it right there. But like I'm telling you, this is actually a really beautiful job on this one. So the Berserker, the Boomer, really well done. The Cantus, kind of cool. Really is the Terran and the helmet of the Terran Guard that is kind of eh. Beside that, the face of the wretch, it's not the end of the world. Actually, the design all around is pretty cool. But we got where the head is connected to the wretch and his body. So that would need to be kind of filled to hide that. Can I actually... It's been like 2 videos in a row where my camera is kind of jumping in and out of view. I had a problem before, but now it's getting worse. So yeah, so those are the models that comes in the box. You get about, if I remember, you just got 2 Cantus, 3 Boomers, about 5 to 6 Wretch and Tickers. You just get 1 Berserker in all the box. For the drones, I think we got about 5. And for the guards, I think it's another 3 to 4 Terran guards. Beside that, like I said, the gears are the only gears that we get in the box. That is Delta Team from the original Gears of War. So on this, I hope you guys can enjoy that. And that is pretty neat. It's a box that costs about 100. I saw it between $100 up to $300. I was lucky to find one on eBay for 50, but of course you have to pay your shipping, so in the end you still land around 100 or about that. So just shop around, keep an eye open. Sometimes you can actually find some of them are a bit cheaper. The board game itself is actually fun, but like I'm telling you, compared to maybe Dark Souls, the fluidity of combat is not as fluid because you have to draw those cards for the behavior of the enemy until you find out when it's back the turn of your character. So it's one character, enemy's turn, another character, enemy's turn, until all the characters heroes have played, that's one turn. So it kind of looks like Dark Souls, where one hero plays, all the enemies attack, secondary hero plays, all the enemies attack, and then you got a turn. So yeah, so on this, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I still got Gloomhaven, I got Blackstone Fortress that we can look at, and I'll see which one's going to be in the next one. But on this, I wish you a good November, and hope to see you guys around. Alright.